Oh yeah. This player here, our Terran player, has been on fire recently, not just in our own tournaments, but in tournaments in general, just really making a name for himself. Not necessarily becoming a champion, but still a name nonetheless.
Indeed, a name that has different associations with it, depending on which end of the match you were. But we are, of course, going to be kicking off this best of 3 PvT on Cosmic Sapphire once again. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We, of course, have our yellow Protoss player coming down from the land of Ukraine. He is going to be representing hot-headed gaming. He is NightPhoenix.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the man himself. We have the South Korean Terran player. He is teal, representing Prep Esports. It is HonMonO. Oh my god.
And HonMonO, I mean, we were alluding to it a little bit. He is a player who has been making a bit of a name for himself. Not specifically as a champion, but as a player who gives zero damns about any conventional wisdom of build orders in this game.
This is why I love our tournament so much, because I feel like we are introducing these European players to Miyamika, HonMonO, Gogo Joey, you know, like to players that they don't usually play against. And
corrupting them.
We are. We're taking away their innocence a little bit, you know? Oh my god. And we'll see if NightPhoenix is aware of how HonMonO plays. How often have they even played against each other? Because NightPhoenix, he doesn't get into the main base. He does get denied entry, and there could be anything here. That's the crazy thing about HonMonO, is that many times he'll open up like this, go for the full wall off, and just get a CC on the high ground anyway.
Yeah, you never know unless you scan. Oh wait, what's that? Protoss can't scan? How do they remedy that?
Yeah, exactly. You just have to play things a little bit safe, and so far, NightPhoenix is going for a Stargate opener. Everything is stock standard here, and things are going to get really interesting. Oh my god, because we're seeing a four Raxol in. Mate, he's probably going to pull the boys.
Zero add-ons. Does he have gas?
No.
He has zero gas. He's not... This is pure Marine... And probably boys, like you were saying.
Yeah.
It is HonMonO we're talking about.
I love it. He's hiding the Marines here as well. The goal of this, by the way, we have a scouting Adept. The Adept is going to commit to the Shade, and then bam, we're going to see a full surround with HonMonO just surrounding and catching that Adept. Ideally, the Marines, though, they move out a little bit prematurely, and they do run into said Adept.
Oh, but stutter stepping is insane. I did not think 6 Marines were going to be enough to take out the Adept like that, but apparently it is, yeah. Just quick enough before the Adept gets out of range.
Let's go!
There's the boys you were talking about.
Exactly, mate. It's not a TvP without HonMonO pulling the boys. The Marines are coming across the map. He leaves a handful. He leaves 3-4 SCVs back at home alongside mules to help defend. Meanwhile, NightPhoenix back at home, he knows something's wrong. 2 shield batteries are being thrown down in his main.
And this is looking to be a pretty capable defense, at least in the main base, but at the same time, NightPhoenix only needs to defend the main base because HonMonO has no plans of continuing this game after this one push.
Yeah, he needs to get into the main base. How good is the force field? Force field is going to get thrown down just in time. That is the only force field that NightPhoenix has to work with right now. He's still working on Warp Gate, by the way, so he cannot warp in anything else, and that force field is about to run out.
I think something important to note, that force field only caught SCVs and none of the boys in any of that. Battery overcharges now being popped, but there's just so much DPS here and not enough high target or high health units that I think HonMonO is actually gonna do this.
He's
what?
breaking through. We have the sentry does get warped in. It gets focused down in the end. So will the Stalker. Every probe is gonna go down. Meanwhile, the Oracle back across the map did kill those 4 SCVs, but you know what? HonMonO, he doesn't care.
He has way more DPS. Oracles run out of energy. SCVs, Marines do not. GG, HonMonO takes game number 1. With a 4x Marine SCV push.
GG, well played. Congratulations to HonMonO for taking that first game. Oh boy, in very HonMonO fashion. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, who needs add-ons? Who needs gas? Who needs boys?
Who needs gas?
HonMonO needs them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who needs gas when you have boys?
True.
Who needs mining? Who needs income?
Yeah, that's the crucial detail there, is the fact that, to be fair, NightPhoenix didn't know what was happening until the SCVs were going up the ramp and they were revealed by the Nexus, and he didn't turn around with the Oracle. He didn't have it at home to defend, and that Oracle, well, everything was needed at home. We saw that HonMonO wasn't really mining across the map. It didn't matter that the Oracle was killing all of his workers mining, because he was all in anyway. We needed either a stasis trap or that extra DPS or just anything and everything to help hold on to that main base.
And to be fair, I think he almost did it. If maybe he got the force field to cut off a couple of the Marines, then might have been feasible. But yeah, he was a little bit trigger happy, and I can't say I blame him. But we're going into game number 2 now, where things are going to be looking a little different, at least when it comes to the maps. It's not very standard. Moondance is what I'm talking about. As in the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, we have our yellow Protoss player coming up from the land of Ukraine. He, of course, is going to be representing Hot-Headed Gaming, formerly known as StarCraft. He is NightPhoenix.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance ESL, we have the South Korean Terran player himself representing Prep Esports. It's the Teal Terran, this time taking his gases. It is HonMonO.
Now, taking a gas is normal. Taking 2 gases this early, though?
That's looking pretty sus, mate. Like, okay, so a couple of things here. We have seen HonMonO, I want to say, once every TvP throw in Widowmine drops, like committed Widowmine drops with like armory behind it. So maybe this could be a bit of a tell that he wants to tech up in that direction, as he is once again trying to go for that full wall off. But again, a very different build. Like HonMonO, like he can be a very difficult player to read.
Yeah, I mean, even the SimCity on this wall is going to be a little bit different here. Still going for the factory before an expansion. I do like this a little bit.
Oh yeah. Again, he's going to be delaying his economy here to be the aggressor once again, just a little bit in a different way. Meanwhile, another interesting variation here from NightPhoenix is that this game, he actually doesn't go for a probe scout. Oh my god.
That is a very early robo facility. So there are a lot of different ways this can go. Ordinarily, I would imagine Robo Bay and maybe Disrupt the Drop, or either that or Fast Colossus. In the case of NightPhoenix, though, do you think he got spooked enough to get a bunch of observers early on?
That would be crazy. So, obviously, the Robo Opener is very unorthodox, and as you said, this should lead, or does usually lead to, like, Fast Colossus for Colossus drops, so I'm kind of anticipating that. Otherwise, he could try and go for, like, I don't know, a Prism and be aggressive early on. It's really hard to say. Right now, NightPhoenix, he actually gets in and he scouts with his adepts. He actually sees both the factory and the CC on the high ground.
Yeah, and this is looking a little bit weird, but I mean, nothing too out of it. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Like,
He knows!
He got spooked!
Oh my god. And this is what I was talking about at the start of the game, because I'm pretty sure that we are going to be seeing some Widowmine drops here. But, okay, only 2 Widowmines have been made straight into a tech lab. A Viking first, actually. So things are just taking a really weird turn here from both of our players.
Yeah, without the Viking here, I would, imagine it was... I would imagine HonMonO would still be going for the mine drop, and he's just laying it a little bit so that he can get drilling claws and his armory, but... yeah, now he's also getting a Viking and a Cyclone. He suspects something coming his way.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing it safe right now. Like, his Widowmines are set up to defend against an Oracle Opener. There's a Widowmine hidden behind that starport. This Viking as well just shot down any kind of Skytoss units. Same can be said for for the Cyclone. So HonMonO is playing this very safe. He is, I'm sure, anticipating aggression from NightPhoenix. And because of that, NightPhoenix is getting away with this. He has very little to defend, and he's taking up into that robotic space.
Yeah, I highly doubt that at this point we'll be getting a disrupt a drop or anything like that, but early Colossus are absolutely crucial in the defense. He even gets the cannons.
Yeah.
NightPhoenix, he knows.
Well, like, he's
knows.
blindly countering Widowmine drops, but that's not what we're seeing here from HonMonO. So, like, the mind games are real. Like, HonMonO is in the mind of NightPhoenix, and because of that, this is a little bit inefficient to waste resources on cannons that you don't need this early on. So yeah, there's kind of a lot of metagaming going on right now.
I love this. Even the observer comes down and he confirms, yep, those are Widow Mines, but hang on, why are you only dropping them now?
Oh, exactly. We do have two Widow Mines going across the map. Again, there is no armory behind this. What's a little bit scary is that we do have Vikings on the way, and Vikings are actually going to do a surprising amount of damage to the Colossus that are coming out. NightPhoenix being a little bit greedy, going for his third base. HonMonO should be able to take this out, but I'm sure HonMonO wants to do more than just take out the third.
And he's still going to take this all the way through, but at the same time, Colossus is about to finish up, and while it is going to be a vanilla Colossus, so are these Marines. Well, the Marines are going to be Colossus. I mean, they're vanilla Marines is what I meant.
Yeah, we don't have stim, we don't have combat shields, we do have the Marines shelling away already, add to that third TC, but the Colossus is going to reveal itself. Now HonMonO is fully aware. At the same time, HonMonO is getting ready for a drop into the main base, that Widowmine, and he's going to commit to this. I don't know if HonMonO can take this fight.
Yeah, well, the Stalkers are starting to go down a little bit, and the Widow Mines are dropping right on top of the army. Colossus starting to get low, but was not enough. Hello, rally?
A bit of a miss rally there. The tank goes down. What about shot goes off on the Stalker, not on the Colossus. In the end, NightPhoenix is going to be able to hold on, and this was a pretty inefficient trade here from HonMonO.
Yeah, once again, he had what he needed to be able to at least trade even, but a couple of micro mistakes here and there, a couple of rallies got mixed up, and NightPhoenix, he's going to be able to get away with his third base. He's going to be skyrocketing when it comes to the income.
Yeah, I'm afraid to look, but looking at the units lost tab, look at the gas as well. We lost 2 Cyclones, we lost a tank, we lost 2 Widow Mines, a Medivac. So much was lost for basically 1 Immortal. Like, it just wasn't worth it. If he had forced a cancel at the third or a kill, then maybe you can argue that it was worth it, or maybe if he had killed the Colossus, but yeah, things just didn't work out there for HonMonO.
And it's difficult to see things shaping up for him from here. I mean, he is getting a little bit harassed, but these adepts get straight into the main base. However many probes HonMonO is going to be able to take out, NightPhoenix is going to take out double the amount of SCVs.
Yeah, exactly. Every single worker here is going down in the main base. We have a shade into the natural as well. The tanks were on siege. I mean, it makes sense. Otherwise, they would just deal even more friendly fire, but probes, workers, are still just falling.
Yeah, 11 of them. But, you know, mules. Token.
Yeah, you know, mules are definitely a thing. We have a third CC on the way here for HonMonO as well. You know, he can maybe try and turtle on 3 bases. It isn't really his style of play, but, like, this is how far behind he is. He only just now started stim.
It'd normally be done at this point in a bit of a standard game, but I guess this game has been anything but standard. NightPhoenix, meanwhile, he doesn't quite have his upgrades yet, but Charge is about to be done, Thermal Lance is about to be done, he's gonna get a second Colossus. That's just about everything he needs to defend any kind of push HonMonO throws his way, so yeah, HonMonO is kind of boxed into playing that style he doesn't normally play, turtling up on 3 bases.
Like, when I look at what HonMonO's position right now, it's either we turtle up and try and slowly take a 4th and be the defender, or we pull every single boy and hit a timing with stim. But I don't believe that that's going to happen because he just started 2 eBays. So it looks like he does want upgrades. It looks like he does want to go into a longer game.
Yeah, well, I know what I would advocate for, personally, but this does make a lot more sense. If you pull the boys and you go for a stim timing, now that there's already 2 Colossus out and the upgrades, there's a very, 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 very slim chance that you'll be able to win the game with it, but you drag it out a little bit longer, you know, you increase your chances a little bit more, even if it is still a little bit more in NightPhoenix's favor.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle here for HonMonO, but, you know, the longer the game goes on, you know, the more chances there are of maybe NightPhoenix making a mistake, or maybe HonMonO catching the army out of position. Like, there are still ways to come back in a game like StarCraft. Maybe we see a bit of a later, I don't know, Widowmine drop or Liberator Harass hit like the 3rd base or hit the 4th base that are looking a little bit more exposed. Like, there are ways to come back, and part of that is going for something like these drops.
Yeah, that's a lot of units being loaded up into those 4 metavacs, though. Very committed. It's a very committed kind of drop, but at least he's being active. You know, looks like he's going to be able to catch this 4th base.
Yeah, exactly, right? The Colossus are positioned outside the 3rd, so this drop could rock up, but oh, the probe actually scouts the drop just in time. There we go. NightPhoenix is responding with his army as well. He forces a cancel of the 5th, but I'm sure he would have loved to have canceled the 4th instead, or killed the 4th.
And this gives enough time for NightPhoenix to reinforce that 4th base position, regroup.
Yeah, he does regroup in the end. That means HonMonO has to respect that. He's going to back the hell up. Meanwhile, a bit of a zealot run by here. I say a run by, but it's also keeping an eye on when the 4th base is going to be taken for HonMonO. So, you know, I appreciate that he tried to move out to be a little bit aggressive, but he's forced to back off in the end. But, oh!
Very good pick off here for HonMonO. Once again, reducing the map presence of NightPhoenix.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Zealots are getting caught out as well, so HonMonO is taking control of his own side of the map. Ghosts are on the way. We do have the EMP upgrade as well. So yeah, like, he's doing a great job at taking up himself. I just worry that NightPhoenix is just getting away with a lot more because of the 5th base, because of his early Colossus. He's hit that like critical count of 3 to 4, but we don't need any more. We can start, like, you know, introducing more forms of splash damage.
Yeah, like these Archons.
Yeah, we've got our Archons, we've got potentially High Templar later on as well. Shadow Stride was just researched, so we could see harassing DTs. Speaking of harassing DTs, okay, a couple of Widowmines are going to be dropped here, but there is a cannon already in position, and at the same time, NightPhoenix, he's pushing up into the 4th.
Yeah, the Ghosts are out, but they're not quite able to get their EMPs. They do land a couple on these Archons, SCVs in the back, not really providing much of a buffer, but still, with the surface area and with the spreading of tanks, HonMonO, he takes a pretty efficient trade.
Yeah, not a bad fight at all here for HonMonO. His tanks did so much in the backline. The EMPs were so crucial as well. NightPhoenix has to be careful not to overextend.
Yeah, like that. Want to take out that Warp Prism, but that is not the way. Plenty more great EMPs, honestly. And now these Colossus are super exposed. The Warp Prism is looking to be in a little bit of trouble. Really good juggling, though.
Really good juggling, but only a single Colossus survives there again. NightPhoenix, he just stuck around a little bit too long. It was a combination of the EMPs and even this one Widowmine shot going off as well on that main army softened it up so much. And NightPhoenix, despite having a massive economic advantage, threw away a lot of his army.
Yeah, he's definitely looking mighty vulnerable for quite some time. I was actually going to go into this thing of how, you know, HonMonO, despite being behind in income, has been able to keep up when it comes to his supply. I was a little bit worried that if, you know, one trade even goes evenly, NightPhoenix is going to be able to reinforce, whereas HonMonO isn't. But so far, just about every engagement has gone HonMonO's way. Yeah, even here, you know, the Ghost survives, he gets an EMP off. NightPhoenix did immediately rebuild, or he is coming back in with his Warp Prism, so now he's going to try and pull HonMonO apart. If he pulls away too much, then NightPhoenix's main army can push up this ramp. Yeah, but a couple of well-placed EMPs and these Vikings are enough to prevent most of the units from warping in fully.
Yeah, exactly, but here we go. The Stalkers, they blink on 4. They do get 1, they get 2. Can they get 3 tanks?
They can, in fact, get 3 tanks, but at what cost? Disruptor doesn't get a single unit. No!
It was almost so perfect, and in the end, there's nothing to support. Meanwhile, another Disruptor, another Purification is going to go off, and Disruptor is going to pay for it with its life.
Another very efficient trade for HonMonO. But at the same time, while this is going on, HonMonO has lost 7 SCVs. Yeah, 7 less SCVs in that fight. He is slowly starting to expand now, so if he continues to trade efficiently, we'll get to a point where HonMonO will be on even income and just winning the battle straight out. But I still want to say NightPhoenix has enough of an advantage right now that if he just is patient, builds a couple more units, he should be able to take the W in the end.
That's the thing, though. I think he needs to be patient. I think he needs to calm the hell down. He needs to back up because right now he's playing with fire. He just sent out his first Purification Nova, and that is his only one. He has one Disruptor with his army, and if HonMonO realizes that, he can just pounce, and I think that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, look at that. He's spreading his units now. The EMPs do land on just about every single one of these units. The Disruptors go down before the Novas can go off. The Colossus went down as well. The most high-tech unit in this army for NightPhoenix right now is Stalkers.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly what you want.
Exactly. You know what? 3-3 is on the horizon, but we don't even need it. We see the army still on forward. The Zealots evaporate. The Robos are under threat as well. We have another Nova going up, but it's only a zoning Nova. And again, we only have that one Disruptor here for NightPhoenix, so there is nothing stopping HonMonO.
And the only thing stopping him is his lack of Bolt Boys. Is what I'm gonna chalk it up to.
Yeah, HonMonO may only have 65 SCVs, but mate, that is all we need. Another EMP does connect with those Stalkers. Once again, NightPhoenix cannot really engage with this. He has one more Disruptor, and maybe with a good enough Purification of it, he can hold on to his base, but no, he can't. Up.
Not like that. A little bit of tunnel vision there from HonMonO, but yeah, once again, I guess there really was nothing stopping him from just stimming forward past these Stalkers and trying to get that Disruptor.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, NightPhoenix is trying to warp in another wave of units. He's going for a counterattack. The fourth base has gone down. Top right-hand base. I love the recall here to save the majority of those workers. And he's going to be able to catch some of these reinforcements with the Stalkers and DTs.
And you know what? The DTs are providing quite a bit of DPS, actually. Just picking off a couple of value units before they can regroup with the rest of the army, but we have detection now. We have a planetary fortress. This is nowhere near enough damage. GG is called. HonMonO takes that series 2-0, playing patient, which is not something I thought I would ever say about HonMonO. Nope. My phone couldn't believe it either.
GG, well played in a macro game where HonMonO was playing from behind. Bear that in mind. He was able to bring it all back. Again, we were talking about it. There were ways to come back, and one of those was maybe to allow your opponent to make a mistake. And I do think that we can both agree that things started to turn in favor of HonMonO when NightPhoenix was pushing up the ramp into the fourth base and took that really bad fight. Didn't just take a bad fight, but also stuck around a little bit longer as well.
That was the thing, yeah, because I can't really blame NightPhoenix for pushing into that fight. His upgrades finished up, and even though it was in the end a very efficient trade for HonMonO, NightPhoenix could afford a battle not going his way or an engagement not going his way. But sticking around after that and continuing to try to push and into HonMonO's entrenched position was definitely a little bit baffling. I don't know, maybe somebody much more knowledgeable and analytical about Protoss than I can sort of look at that a little bit better and tell me, what the rationale behind that was. But yeah, it definitely feels a little bit like after the first engagement, NightPhoenix got a little bit bloodlusted when he really could have just, calmed down, gotten another couple of expansions, and taken a good fight later down the line.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe it was just overconfidence because he knew how much he got away with, with the faster third, with the faster Colossus, shutting down the first push. He was probably just feeling really good and feeling really ahead, and he's like, I can just push up this ramp and win the game. And that ended up hurting him in the end. But regardless, GG, well played. What a series we just had, and HonMonO moves on to the quarterfinals.